Titanic's forgotten hero, the wireless operator who saved 706 lives. April 1912. The Titanic, the largest and most luxurious ship ever built, was proudly called unsinkable. But on its maiden voyage far from the coast of Newfoundland, one silent iceberg would shatter that belief forever. We all have heard that only 706 people survived out of the ship's 2,224 passengers and crew. Yet without the bravery of one man and his colleague, even those 706 might never have been rescued. This is the untold story of Jack Phillips, the Titanic's wireless operator, the man who kept sending distress signals until the very end.
Jack Phillips was just 25, quiet, dedicated, and obsessed with his new passion, wireless telegraphy. He worked for the Marconi Company, one of the first to connect ships to the world through invisible waves of sound. When Titanic left Southampton on April 10, 1912, Jack was joined by his junior assistant, Harold Bride, only 22 years old. Their small cabin was filled with wires, switches, and a humming transmitter, the most advanced of its time. To the passengers, they were just the men who sent telegrams. To history, they became the voice of the doomed ship. Every day, the operator sent hundreds of personal messages. Arriving soon. Love you. Tell the office I'll be in New York Tuesday. And updates about weather and navigation. But as they worked, warnings began to come in. Ships in the North Atlantic were sending ice alerts. Messages that read, "Large ice field ahead. Latitude 42 north." Jack received them all. He forwarded some to the bridge, but others were delayed. That night, April 14th, the air was alive with signals. Passengers were desperate to send last-minute telegrams, and the wireless room buzzed like a storm. Then at 9:30 p.m., the nearby ship Californian radioed a warning. "We are stopped and surrounded by ice." Jack, exhausted and irritated, sent back, "Keep out. I'm working Cape Race." The Californian operator shut off his set and went to bed. It was a small moment, one that history would remember forever. 2 hours later, at 11:40 p.m., the Titanic struck the iceberg. The hull tore open. Water began to flood in. Captain Smith rushed to the wireless room. "Send the distress call," he ordered. Jack and Harold began tapping out CQD, the old emergency code. And then, for one of the first times in history, SOS. Their message crackled through the freezing night. "CQD, SOS, come at once. We have struck an iceberg." Over and over they sent it, hoping someone, anyone, was listening. Miles away aboard the RMS Carpathia, operator Harold Cottam heard the distress call. He alerted his captain immediately. Carpathia turned around and began racing toward Titanic's last known position. Back on Titanic, chaos was spreading. Lifeboats were being lowered. The decks were tilting. But in that tiny room filled with sparks and cables, Jack and Harold kept working. Harold later recalled, "Jack stuck to his job. He said nothing about leaving. He just kept sending messages. Even as water crept closer to their feet, they didn't stop." Jack's fingers tapped the key until the power finally died. When the wireless room fell silent, Jack and Harold ran for their lives. A wave crashed through the companionway. Jack helped Harold onto the deck. They were separated in the darkness. Harold managed to reach an overturned lifeboat and survive the night. Jack Phillips did not. When the Carpathia arrived hours later, it rescued 706 survivors, guided by the coordinates sent by Jack and Harold. Without their bravery, hundreds more would have died.
Jack's last messages changed maritime history forever. After the disaster, new laws required all ships to keep 24-hour radio watch, ensuring no distress call would ever go unheard again. Jack Phillips never saw the sunrise on April 15, 1912. But his courage lit a signal that still echoes through time. He wasn't just a telegraph operator. He was the voice that refused to be silenced, even as the world around him sank beneath the waves. This was the story of Jack Phillips, the Titanic's forgotten hero. A young man who, in the face of chaos and rising water, refused to give up. While others ran for lifeboats, he stayed at his post, tapping out SOS after SOS, sending hope into the darkness of the Atlantic. Because of his courage and his final messages, 706 souls were rescued from the freezing sea. Jack never lived to see the dawn, but his signal reached across the waves, a lifeline that turned tragedy into survival for hundreds. His name may not be carved in marble, but his actions echo through history, a reminder that even in disaster, one person's bravery can change everything. If you believe some stories should never be forgotten, subscribe to Untold Stories and join us next time as we uncover another powerful moment that shaped our world. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more untold stories from history. Your support means the world to us, and we promise we won't disappoint you. See you in the next episode.